Would a non-critter like the Legend of Vox Machina? Up next. What is up, everybody? This is the Techno Funk Boy. Thank you so much for joining me. So, since I do quite a bit of like Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing stuff on this channel, and I'm involved in a lot of like actual play and podcasts and streaming of tabletop role-playing games, I kind of felt obligated to watch the Legend of Vox Machina on Amazon Prime that just came out. I just got back a couple of days ago. I just got back from vacation, and the whole family we found out just yesterday, brought with us a healthy a healthy case of COVID. Thankfully, it's been fairly mild for all of us. Some of us worse than others, but we all seem to be on the mend right now. But I was kind of mostly passed out on that couch right there, getting just a fantastic nap in. And you know, as I was waking up and didn't want to actually get up, I tuned into the Legend of Vox Machina. So the reason I wanted to do this is because I'm not a fan of the show. And I've seen a lot of reviews from people I follow who get into Critical Role. And so a little bit of history here. If you're not aware, Critical Role is an actual play stream and podcast where the players will play out a game of Dungeons and Dragons for you, the audience. And this is actually a field that I really get into. I listen to a lot of actual play podcasts. I'm involved in several of them on my Twitch channel, Techno Funk Boy. We stream tabletop role-playing games all the time. I'm involved in several podcasts. The two that are Dungeons and Dragons based are Dice and Dreary and Rolling Through the Realm. So if you do like this genre, I really encourage you to listen to both of those. I really dig this sort of thing. I am not antagonistic to Critical Role, as a lot of people are. I have great respect for Critical Role. I think Matt Mercer's a fantastic dungeon master. I think the players are all really, really, really entertaining. It's just not my pace. It's not my style. And so I don't have anything against it, but I'm also not a fan. I've tried to start listening a couple of times and just couldn't get into it. And so I was going to come to Vox Machina pretty fresh. I've only listened to a couple of episodes that even had these characters in it at all. And so I was coming in pretty fresh and was curious to see how someone who is not a critter would enjoy the show. I turns out I really liked it. So before we go on, this is not going to be a spoiler review. I'm going to keep this very, very nice and vague. As I'm recording this, 3 episodes are out, more are coming, and so I'll continue watching them. If y'all are interested, I'll do a wrap up video that's more spoilery when we get to the end of things. But the main things that I was concerned with is like, whenever you make some spin-off of something that has a large fan base, you know, the balancing act that you always have is like, you know, how do you make this entertaining for the fans, but also accessible for the non-fans? I'm the latter category. And so that's a really tough balancing act to do. So you've got to introduce the characters in a way that's not dull for the fan, but is also something that I'm going to be able to enter into and get a feel for them. The same thing with situations and stories. The temptation a lot of times is to get bogged down with Easter eggs and inside jokes that can really distract people who aren't in on it. I'm really happy to say that this show didn't do that to me at all. From the reviews that I've seen, it looks like the fans are pretty pleased with it. And so it's kind of my instinct that I think they did this balancing act really, really well. The characters, by the way, like the people on Critical Role are all professional voice actors. And so this is really their wheelhouse, but they were also given a really good script that to play off of. And so the acting is good. The script is really good. The humor is very, very present, but always, it never gets in the way. As we're seeing in like a lot of Disney films, that they're like undercutting dramatic moments with just stupid humor. That doesn't really happen here. The humor is always kind of in the right spot, but always a little bit unpredictable, exactly how that's going to play out. And so it's that kind of like surprise edge to it that adds to the humor a lot. But the characters all come through pretty well for me. Like, I get a sense of their characters like right off the bat, and that develops. Like a good amount of time is spent in very interesting ways, giving us more insights into these characters that are presented up front as just kind of this ragtag group of incompetent adventurers that we're going to prove ourselves, right? But we're getting deeper into them in ways that I felt connected to them pretty much right away, which I loved. The story itself was fairly predictable. That being said, I wasn't looking for, some literary masterpiece here. I was looking for good fight scenes, Dungeons and Dragons-y type, battles and magic and having Dungeons and Dragons cliches in there is fine because that's the genre, right? And so the plot is very, very good, and does exactly what we wanted it to do wanted to do in here. And that I thought was a lot of fun. The so far in 3 episodes we've met, in a way that I can, two antagonists. Okay. Yeah, there might be, or 2 sets of antagonists that might be one person or more than one person. I've liked these antagonists as well. I've gotten a feel for a lot of the different characters, even in three short episodes. I understand that there's a lot of Easter eggs in here. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know, but they also didn't get in my way. There's a lot of times that you see something in a show like this. You're like, well, yeah, that's definitely an Easter egg. Look how they're focusing on it. To do Easter eggs right, it's to have it there for significant impression for the fans to catch it and grin without getting in the way. And they didn't get in the way. I don't know what they were, and so therefore they didn't get in the way, which I thought was a lot of fun. It is a cartoon, but it's most definitely not for kids. It is very violent. It is it's very explicit at times, and it feels like Dungeons and Dragons, which is what I really wanted. It's like I did a review a while back on a podcast about the original Dungeons and Dragons film, and in it I pointed out in particular the beholders, because there were beholders there. You saw the image of the beholder, but they didn't act like any beholder would. They didn't do the things that a beholder would. They didn't behave in a way that a beholder would, and so it was just the model of beholder, but it wasn't a beholder there. this is the opposite, that we don't have the like official Dungeons and Dragons trademarked names where it goes, I cast magic missile. That doesn't happen, but it feels like Dungeons and Dragons, which was really nice. And it's probably the thing about this that I appreciate the most. So far, like I'm on board. I'm on board for more. I thought this was a lot of fun with great scenes, good animation, good fight scenes, and pretty much what I was hoping for from a Dungeons and Dragons adventure type thing. And I'm looking forward to the next episodes. Like I said, if we might once the season's done, circle back and do kind of a more spoilery look at it. I am pumped. Next month is the season 3 of the Orville is coming out. I'm going to be doing reviews here and on Twitch. But in the meantime, if you aren't subscribed, please do subscribe. Hit that little bell icon. That way you'll be notified on future releases. If you are subscribed and are interested, my new album is out on Bandcamp, and it's supposed to be out soonish. Everywhere else, I'm kind of waiting for the notifications, but it is called The Dragon and the Witch. And this is actually a soundtrack from Dice and Dreer, which is one of those actual play podcasts that I mentioned earlier. I do the music for it. And so this, especially if you're a dungeon master, like you're looking for some like creepy music for your game, please do check it out. I've had several different releases of my soundtrack work out, and I'm going to be working on some Spotify playlists that dungeon masters will be able to use for like certain such situations, like like battle themes or spooky themes, or friendly neighborhood tavern themes and that sort of thing. And so if you're on Spotify, follow me there. This album should be out momentarily, possibly today, possibly next week. I don't know. And otherwise, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and we'll see you very, very soon.